Hey guys, welcome back to 2Death. This is weird. We've never done face cam before, so I'm not. This is gonna take some getting used to.
Yep.
So yeah, if you are listening on Spotify or any of the other podcast sites, if you come to YouTube, you can see our pretty faces.
Your pretty face.
Oh.
I look like
Thank
garbage.
You look fine. Yeah, I actually put on makeup today and curled my hair because we're going to a concert after this. So, you know.
And I didn't because we're going to a concert.
It gave me an excuse to get pretty.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. So, yeah, we're back. And last week we did a scam case, which was pretty fun.
That was nice. We didn't have to talk about anybody getting murdered or
Yes.
people being kidnapped or any other terrible thing.
It was a good change of pace, and I think I've kind of thought about it a lot, and I think I'll probably keep doing that, like a murder one week and then a scam or a fraud the next week, so we keep it kind of
Alternate.
dark, light, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can keep up with the scam cases for couples. If not, we're just going to go straight up scams. They may not be couples. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long I can keep that going. Shut up. Don't make me embarrassed.
I'm not making you. I didn't say anything.
But today's case that we're doing is not like, there's some murder in it. I'll say that. So, but it's not as like dark as some of the ones we've done.
No kids.
No kids.
There we go.
No animals.
There we go. Did we do animal murder?
No, but I'm just saying,
Let's
like,
never do
I'm just
animal
throwing.
murder.
No,
Yeah.
and there was actually one case that's actually a pretty famous couples case that I started to research a little bit about, and there were some dog murders in there, and I was like, nope, I don't know if I'll ever do them.
Nope.
So if there's like a famous killer couple that you guys are like, they've never covered this, and we still never cover it, that's why.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about
No.
animals getting killed.
Those are like moles or something. Do people like
Moles?
moles? Are there mole people? I'm
Oh,
sure there's probably
there's
more.
always
There's always
people.
yeah.
Maybe like feral hogs.
Oh,
you know, those are a
yeah,
problem.
people don't like them, right?
Yeah, I think if you live in Australia, people are that way about kangaroos.
Oh yeah.
kinda like
yeah,
rodents.
Yeah, I've heard
I
this.
don't know. If you're from Australia, let us know if you
Yeah.
like kangaroos or not.
Kangaroos, yay or nay,
Or like meh.
or indifferent.
Yeah, nah, we'll see. So this week we're talking about the San Francisco witch killers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you've heard about this, right?
Mm-mm.
I hadn't heard about this case at all. The only reason I came across this case, I was just kind of researching online and I saw these people's picture and I thought it was Charles Manson. And
Was it?
I had to go read because I was like, there's no way this isn't Charles Manson. No, it's not, but he looks an awful lot like Charles Manson. I have some pictures. I don't know if you want to bring them up now or later.
Of the murder people?
Of the people.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
I think I just have
he
them on my
looks
desktop.
like Charles Manson, and the girl, I think, looks like one of his followers that he had back then. So these are not, that's not Charles Manson, if you want to know.
Not Charles Manson.
No, he wishes.
He
but,
wishes?
yeah.
Did he actually try? Was that like one of his inspirations?
Well, I don't know.
Was that him here again?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
This is, let me see.
Re-enable my...
So
Cursor.
I'll tell you their names, but they have two names.
Yeah.
So the guy, oh yeah, our faces are kind of over his face. There you go.
Yeah.
The guy, his real name is James Clifford Carson,
Mm.
but he renamed himself Michael Bear Carson.
Why?
I don't know. 'cause
Michael
they
Bear?
like the bear.
Like the animal?
Yeah, like the animal.
Not like the football team?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, isn't the football team like named after the animal?
Yes. Well, of course. But he could have been more of a fan of the football team than the animal.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he was trying to go after. And then her name is Susan.
But who? This person?
Yeah, her name is Susan Barnes Carson.
Is she murdered also?
Yes.
Jeez.
And she's in handcuffs.
Oh well, yeah. She looks kind of. They look kind of happy about it.
Yeah, they're kind of crazy. Her new name was Susan Bear Carson.
So they both renamed themselves Bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So this
was
is them.
It was like 70s,
80s.
80s. Okay, like early 80s.
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely have that look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Bear, people in the 70s, they like to like wear flannel and live in the woods, right?
Did they?
I think so.
Oh. Your guess is as good as mine. I was not really around back then.
I don't know. That's what whenever I think of the 70s, it's just people in jeans and flannel and just like living in the woods, like chopping wood. I don't know why I picture that.
I'm sure like whoever is out there listening to us that was like around then is like, oh my God.
No,
we did not do that.
I'm sure whoever would be listening probably just worked in an office.
Yeah. I mean, my dad listens. He was around back then.
Yes.
He's
Were you in the woods chopping wood?
Well, we're from the panhandle of Texas. There were no trees and no woods, so...
Nah, I guess not.
Nah.
So it wasn't the real 70s then?
I guess not.
Fake 70s.
So I just right off the top, because I'm getting better at this, I got all of my information from the one and only Wikipedia. Also, a article by the Grunge and the New York Post. It had a really good article on it as well.
Cool.
So...
Oh, by the way, we should probably introduce ourselves.
Oh,
we never do
sorry,
that.
Yeah.
I don't ever think to do that
My name is Ashley.
Kevin.
And welcome. I'm really sad because our dog's not here. He's usually like in the background making noises and being crazy. He's not here. He's at the puppy hotel. He is at a boarding facility having fun with his friends tonight.
As long as he's having fun. I miss my buddy.
Yeah, our producer is, well, she was down here.
Was she down here? Oh.
I don't know.
She's MIA. No, she's sleeping.
She's back there. I don't know if you can see her.
Yeah.
Right there. You see? My finger's on her.
Yep, there she is.
She's sleeping on the job, so good job.
It's fine. We don't need her.
Nah, she's fine. She said we got it.
Just another suit trying to stifle our creativity.
She just likes to keep us on track and keep us on time.
Boo.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. So I kind of already told you their names. So we're going to pick up our story in 1977.
Okay.
So James Carson, he was living in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
And he was married with a little girl. When his wife at the time began noticing severe behavioral changes in him. Okay. So, like, initially, she was, like, the breadwinner, his wife. Mm-hmm. She went to work. She did all, she was the big breadwinner. He was a stay-at-home dad.
He chopped wood.
I don't know if he chopped wood. Maybe.
In jeans and flannel.
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. It was the 70s.
It was the 70s.
So he was staying home, being a stay-at-home dad, and he was also selling marijuana on the side just to kind of make some extra cash.
Sure.
Well, his wife began noticing that he was just, I don't know, he became like really conspiratorial.
By the way, in the 70s, that was a huge deal. You get caught with weed in the 70s,
yeah.
They put you in prison for like
that was
life.
No joke.
It was like insane.
Yeah. Now it's not.
Not as bad.
Not as bad. I mean, here in Texas, other places, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's illegal there.
In my home state, you can just go to the store and buy it.
Texas. Why are we in Texas? I don't know.
That's a great question.
So his wife began noticing that he just was acting weird, was like being very conspiratorial. Everything was a conspiracy. He began having some pretty radical views of the government. And it was kind of weird.
Okay. I think people can relate to that now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, a lot of the conspiracies have been proven to be kind of true.
Oh, this guy was...
No, I'm just saying in general. A lot of, like, the old conspiracies about the government ended up being, like, kind of true,
Which ones?
Well, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just put out a blanket statement like that.
I mean, kind of like maybe the CIA killed Kennedy.
Oh, well, we already knew that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so all these, like, kind of, like, things that people thought were far out were kind of like...
Yeah, but also they think that the government is keeping extraterrestrials in Roswell, New Mexico. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of conspiracies. I don't think they all wound up being true, right?
No, not all. Okay. Some of them.
Some of them.
Being true.
Maybe the alien one. The truth is out there.
I mean, all these, like, weird balloons, which I guess are, like, from China.
Yeah, they're just balloons.
Yeah.
That people made.
It's weird.
Okay. Yeah, but they're not aliens.
They're not aliens, no. And I don't believe they're aliens.
Why would aliens who have the technology to travel light years away, like practically requires like interdimensional travel, basically,
warp drive,
just to put some balloons up or abduct some cows or whatever, or anything our government would be able to keep that wrapped up?
Nah.
No. Come on, bullshit.
No, I know.
Come on.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but there's a part of my mind that's like, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, there's always a chance. There's a chance I could be one of these said aliens. I mean, under this pretense where aliens are here doing things.
I think for sure mosquitoes are aliens.
No, they're just assholes.
That's so funny. Okay, so let's go back. So, Mr. James Carson, he meets Susan Barnes. So,
James Carson and Susan Barnes.
Yeah, so he meets Susan Barnes while he's still married with a daughter.
Oh, okay, I see.
And they decide they are in love.
Okay.
That they are going to run off together.
I don't think they just decided.
They fell in love. They were all both into the same like conspiracy stuff.
I'm just picturing them like making that decision. Like, do you want to be in love? I don't know. Let's make a pro and con chart.
Let's be in love.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
So their answer was yes. So she was a divorcee at the time they met with 2 teenage sons.
They're hot to trot.
Okay.
I think it's from the Brady Bunch.
Is it?
Yeah, like they're talking about like a neighbor or something. It's like one of those old shows, and he's like, "Oh, did you hear that the neighbor? She's a divorcee." And and like one of the boys is like, "Ooh, a divorcee. I heard they're hot to trot." And I remember watching this as a kid, going, "What the fuck?"
Hot to trot mean? I know. I'm just saying that's a weird expression.
Not much explanation, I thought.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
So they decide that they're gonna leave their lives, run off. So he leaves his daughter and his wife. They became very involved in illicit drugs and masochism. Like
self-abuse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
I know. So they both ended up taking the name Bear, like I told you. Him, Michael Bear, her Susan Bear. And he wrote this very strange...
I mean, this is all strange, but that one strikes... Just the name Bear. Why Bear?
I think they were trying to be like...
One with nature?
Yeah, I think they were trying to like kind of be part of the counterculture, and maybe that's what was happening at that time. So...
Like Native American style? Like...
I don't know.
Cause
I'm not really sure. Like, did the hippies do that? Did they
take
like different names? Because it kind of seems like that's what they were trying to be, is like part of that like kind of hippie movement.
Okay. No, but yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So he sent his daughter around this time a very disturbing letter where he said God had given him this new name. So, and I was reading... I'm not sure if I put it in here, but oh yeah, okay, never mind. I'll get to it. By 1980, they went on a year-long trip to Europe and just toured around.
Okay.
So
that sounds kind of nice.
Sounds really nice. There's some... I only threw that in there because there's some speculation later on that they probably killed some people in Europe.
Oh shit.
That they never really found. But just kind of based on their behavior once they got back to the U.S., there's a lot of speculation that they have some like that they did some murders over in Europe, and no one has found out about it yet.
Got it.
So, who knows? So that's why I threw that one in there. So they come back to the U.S. and they move into the Ashbury neighborhood of San Francisco.
Okay.
So they continue their involvement with drugs and the counterculture. So I guess that's basically hippie stuff.
Right. San Francisco, I believe, was a big hippie spot.
Yeah.
I think.
I've seen that in a documentary.
I don't know. I wasn't around. I don't know.
So around this time when they came back from Europe and they settled in San Francisco, Michael Bear Carson, whatever we want to call him, his ex-wife became really afraid of him.
Okay.
And pretty much was terrified that he was going to abduct their child.
Sure.
So she basically ran away, hid herself and her kid.
Okay.
So they had to basically cut off all of their contacts, all their acquaintances, everything, and move. And I did read like a article that his daughter now wrote. So his daughter's all grown up, obviously, and she wrote a little she basically made a case when he was trying to get out on parole, where she said, no, my dad shouldn't get out on parole. He's like a dangerous person. He's a psychopath. She said one time she went over to the house of Susan and Michael. I keep calling him James because that's what his real name is,
right.
But it's Michael.
Okay.
So she went over to Susan and Michael's house, and he basically just left her there to fend for herself at 5.
Yikes.
With nothing to eat. They were passed out on drugs, having sex all the time while this like little 5-year-old was just like in the house. So the mom took the daughter and pieced out.
Right.
Hid.
Good.
I know. So thank God for this mom that she took that child out of the equation. Because good God, who knows what this
could have wound
been.
up like one of our other stories that we did. That.
Yeah, it was really interesting though. If you go like search this case, you'll find like a big article about his daughter and him and her like putting on a huge campaign for him not to get out of prison. So yeah, be nice to your kids.
Yeah.
Like, come on. So now we're going to go to March of 1981. So 22-year-old Karen Barnes, she's an aspiring actress from Georgia, and she was found dead in her San Francisco apartment. She was stabbed 13 times, and her skull was crushed before she was wrapped in a blanket and hidden in the basement.
Holy moly.
Yes.
I got caught up. What is her name?
Karen Barnes.
Karen Barnes. So is she related to Susan Barnes?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's a coincidence.
Okay, I was just wondering.
But no.
Yeah. I'm about to say, it sounded like another one of our stories.
Yeah, no. She was not related to them, although when the police get there to investigate her murder, they are like, ooh, this murder was perpetrated by someone she knew. Okay. They said it was very personal, that it looked like it wasn't just random. Okay. There was nothing stolen, nothing taken, so they speculated that it was someone she knew, and lo and behold, guess who her roommates were? Michael Bear Carson and Susan Barnes Carson. So by the time the police got there and found the body, they had already pieced out. I'll throw this in now. I'll talk about it later too, but later, once the Carsons confessed to this murder, they said that they killed her because she was a witch.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I get it.
So they were convinced that Karen was a witch and that she was basically sucking the life out of them. So they had to get rid of her.
Right.
Which, ugh. And it's like, did they like share some kind of a like, do you think it was like their mental problems, which they obviously had?
Or like a drug-induced
That's
thing?
what I was thinking. Was it like a drug-induced psychosis, or was this like a mental psychosis?
Or a little column A and B.
Maybe the drug psychosis brought out the like craziness in them.
Or just they were already crazy and mixing some drugs on top of crazy.
Yeah.
Bonus crazy. And then you just have a whole bunch of fun.
So that was their first murder. So after they had killed Karen, they fled. They fled to a mountain hideout near Grants Pass, Oregon, where they remained until the spring of 1982. Later, they ended up moving to Alder Point, California, where they lived and worked on a marijuana farm there. And they actually, I found this kind of interesting, they actually worked on a mountain known as Murder Mountain.
Oh, nice.
There's a Netflix documentary about it. I know you haven't seen it, probably.
Never even heard of
watch
Murder.
A lot of documentaries.
I've never heard of Murder Mountain.
So there's a Netflix documentary called Murder Mountain, and it's actually about this mountain in California where there's a ton of marijuana farms. And California is always known about these marijuana farms. Like, the local government's always known about them, but it's a really dangerous place to be. There has been hundreds of murders there. And, like, the cops are not really welcome there. It's very dangerous. Okay. And it's weird because you would think, oh, no, like, this is America. The cops can come in and do whatever they want right?
I mean, if they really wanted to, they could just come in with the National Guard with tanks and stuff and, like, rocket launchers and shit, right?
They could. They don't. Okay. And they kind of let that, like, in the documentary, it kind of shows that the law, like, the people that live there are, like, free from the law. The law does not mess with them. If there's murders, they, like, try to investigate, but not really. Right. They don't go onto those people's properties. They don't get involved. They try to stay out of it.
Interesting.
So, pretty much, if you want to murder someone, you go to this area, Murder Mountain. But it's...
I wonder, I mean, it sounds like they're just probably paid off.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what it is. Because those those people there have these marijuana farms that are making
money.
Tons of money.
Sure.
So, yeah, you're right. Everyone's bought off.
Yeah.
So... they worked on Murder Mountain. I thought that was kind of weird. So
cool. Did they do? I mean, I'm sure they did some murders on Murder Mountain.
Yeah, well, we are about to find out.
Okay.
So, according to the other workers on this farm, the Carsons were anarchists who advocated for revolution and predicted that a nuclear apocalypse would soon occur. So, I mean, probably around that time they weren't too far off. What was the missile crisis?
That was in the 80s.
Yeah, right? So this was probably right around that time?
Yeah, it was a little tense there for a moment.
So, I mean, they probably weren't far off in their predictions or being, like,
I'm
worried
sure
about that.
There were, I think, they had reason for concern.
Right. So, in May of 1982, Michael shot and killed Clark Stevens. He was a worker on the farm, and the two had a big dispute. He killed him and attempted to dispose of his body by burning it and burying it under chicken fertilizer in the woods.
Okay.
2 weeks later, Stevens was reported to the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office, and they attempted to investigate and actually ended up finding his body.
Oh, so they did.
They did, and it was, I guess, pretty obvious where he was burned and his remains were placed.
All right.
The Carsons, again, by the time the cops got there and figured out what was going on, the Carsons fled. They bounced.
Yeah.
So, upon searching the Carsons' abandoned belongings, the detectives found a manifesto they had written, which called for the assassination of then President Ronald Reagan.
Oh, okay.
And also called for the assassination of Johnny Carson.
Okay.
The late night host. I don't know why. Maybe because he had their last name.
Okay.
I don't know why. So,
Sure, why just throw him in there? Why not? Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird. Apparently, this manifesto was like really crazy.
Yes, I want death to the president, and also Ben Stiller.
It's so random. I don't know. And, so at this point, the authorities were kind of like, we need to start looking for these people. Yeah. And by now, they've done 2 murders, but the authorities had a really hard time tracking them down. In November of 1982, Michael Bear Carson was actually picked up by the Los Angeles police.
Okay.
So it's not too long after this murder, the last one that he had done. They picked him up when he was hitchhiking.
Okay.
So
he was just out hitchhiking. The cops just rolled up.
Yeah, they picked him up. He was never under arrest. They just picked him up and they were going to help him get where he was going to.
Yeah.
And then through a police error, he was, oh no, you know what? Okay, I remember now. So they thought he looked like someone they were looking for, the cops.
Okay.
And when they were bringing him to be questioned, there was an error, and he was released quickly. They didn't have anything to hold him on, and the cop who arrested him wasn't sure what they were supposed to be holding him on. So he was released very quickly.
Okay.
And weirdly enough, he left his gun in the police car. The same gun that was used to kill the person they had found on the murder mountain.
Whoops-a-daisies.
Yep, it just slid under the seat in front
it
of him.
happens. We've all been there, not with guns necessarily, but, your phone slips out of your pocket. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, it was the murder weapon. It was a gun. So he left behind a mugshot and his address and information, too.
Whoops.
Oops.
Kind of pulled a homer there.
I know.
All right. It's a Simpsons reference.
I think that's the thing about these cases. There's always someone who just barely slips by. They could have been caught and then just whoops, slips by.
Yeah.
So the following March, the Carsons were hitchhiking near Bakersfield, California, where they were given a ride by a 30-year-old John Charles Hellier, who was driving to Santa Rosa.
I don't think it's going to be good for John Charles.
No.
Yeah.
Susan Bear Carson reportedly decided that Hellier was a witch and had to be killed.
I thought only women could be witches.
I guess he was a warlock.
Ah.
Isn't that what they call male witches?
I don't know. In Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, right?
I mean, that was Bewitched too.
Was it Bewitched? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe so.
While Hellier was driving on U.S. Route 101 in Sonoma County, an argument and physical fight broke out between Hellier and the Carsons, resulting in the car coming to a complete stop. The fight escalated outside, where Susan stabbed Hellier while he and Michael struggled over the gun. So Michael finally...
Do you think it was over the radio?
I hope so.
Like they're playing the Eagles.
And he's like, no.
I hate the fucking Eagles.
I knew you were a witch. I don't know. I think these people were just like, and I'm wondering, I'm like,
this also sounds like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
They had to have like been making up that they thought these people were witches, right?
Just to cover,
really?
or who? I mean, it sounds like they're kind of nuts.
I don't know. Maybe they really did.
Some people are really crazy and truly are capable of insane thoughts.
It kind of reminds me of, and I know you don't know this case, but Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell is like a really famous case going on right now. There's actually like a court case happening right as we speak.
Oh, it's like current.
Yeah, current. So Lori Vallow said that she killed her ex-husband and her kids because she thought they were zombies.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Zombies had taken over their bodies, which I call bullshit on
bullshit,
that.
or you're like on some type of drugs that have addled your brain.
They were in like a religious cult, basically.
Or, yeah. Okay, just a complete and utter moron.
We'll cover that case. It's got a lot of twists and turns, and Keith Morrison did a whole podcast series on it called, oh man, what was it called? Mommy Doomsday, I think is what it's called.
Mommy Doomsday, that's a title.
I know.
That's
Keith Morrison.
That's a good name for a band, man. All right.
So Michael gets control of their gun while they're
some of these people just
struggling.
blow my mind.
And shot Hellier dead in the view of passing motorists.
Oh, really?
One of them called the cops, yeah.
Damn.
So they were like in broad daylight, middle of the road, all of it.
Oh, I wanted to mention, this reminds me, again, of Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
This couple out, just out killing people.
Yeah.
In broad daylight, not giving a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Although, man, those people, people we talked about, what were their fucking names?
Which ones?
The inspiration for Natural Born Killers.
Oh, was that Starkweather?
Starkweather,
and
that's
Fugate?
right. Yes, Starkweather and Fugate. These people were crazy, but those people were freaking really crazy.
These people sound crazy too?
I mean, yeah. I guess I just...
But yeah, you're right, those people were.
They like killed that girl like killed her sister. He killed her I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the one that had like the dead body in the chicken coop, right?
Yeah, the whole family.
The whole family.
He killed the whole family.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
And they just stayed at the house. That was a crazy episode. If you didn't hear that, the 2Death, or just go Google it, whatever. It doesn't have to be from us. The Starkweather.
Yeah, it's
and Fugate
nuts.
People. Holy moly.
Yeah, that was really crazy.
Monsters.
So they like kill this person in broad daylight. Of freaking course, the cops are called right away.
Yeah.
A high-speed chase ensues.
Okay.
And the Carsons attempt to flee in Hellier's car, but they were both apprehended.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you're in a car you've never driven before.
Yeah.
You don't know how it handles. Classic mistake.
I know, and it's like... I don't know how hard they actually tried to get away.
Right.
It kind of seems like they also really liked being in the spotlight after they got arrested.
I see.
So once they got arrested, not the police, the Carsons, called a press conference.
How?
They told the police they wanted a press conference with the news and everything.
They requested them.
Yes.
Okay.
They requested it.
Okay, gotcha. They just didn't call one.
No, they didn't, but they were like, we want a press conference. We're going to,
we'll
give
tell
information.
Everything. Just do
Which,
it.
I don't know, I'm kind of surprised that the cops let them do this.
Yeah, I'd be like, no.
So they confessed to murdering.
Or arrange a fake press conference.
That's how you do it. So they arranged this press conference where they admitted to everything. Mm-hmm. They admitted to all 3 murders. But right before trial, they withdrew their confessions and entered a plea of not guilty. It's like, come on, guys. You
just confessed.
We already confessed to
Can you do that? Can you confess and then take it all back? Like, never mind.
Yeah, I mean,
really?
You can.
I didn't know that.
It doesn't mean that it's going to look
I thought
kindly
once you
on
confessed, that was it. I
mean, I think you can always change what you plea until you put your plea in.
I don't see how. All right, so all that stuff you said, you were just making all that up. You're like, yup.
A lot of
No, you weren't. Clearly, you were not. Nobody can just make up all those details. I did though.
A lot of
sorry.
Police house snitches. They recant their testimonies.
Police house snitches.
What are they called? Jailhouse snitches.
I don't know. I don't know.
People who are in jail with other people and say like, oh yeah, he told me this,
rat.
this, and this. Yeah, rat.
A rat.
But they're called like jailhouse informants.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they always, like, all those people always end up recanting what they say.
Mm.
So I'm going to assume that it works the same way with if you confess, you can be like, no, never mind.
I just didn't think you could unconfess.
Yeah, you can unconfess.
Okay.
So they entered a plea of not guilty right after this. So on June 12th, 1984, the Carsons were convicted first of Barnes murder. So that's Karen Barnes, the first one.
The roommate.
Yes, the roommate. And they were sentenced to 25 years in prison.
Damn. I mean, good, but some of these cases I feel like they murdered 10 people and it's like, all right, 10 years.
That's the worst thing about, not the worst thing, that's one of the horrible things about true crime is like listening to the sentence people get when you think they're going to get like 1 million years. They're like,
12 years.
12 years, except
Get out in 4.
you're good. Yeah, you're good for parole in like 5.
Yeah.
You're like, really? Come on. Ugh.
Like, what? I mean, you murder your whole family, but it looks like you feel bad about it.
I hate it. Like, I have problems with like mandatory minimums as a rule, but I feel like sometimes people who do like minor drug charges get more time than like murders.
Thinking that like people who get like caught like selling weed or whatever get like 30 years, hard time, and no chance of early parole. And these murderers and rapists and stuff, they're back on the streets in like less than 10. Guys, fix this shit.
We have to do better. Like, we have to do better. Come on, guys. So they were convicted of 25 years for Karen's murder. Later, they were convicted for the murders of Stevens and Hillier, for which they received sentences of 50 years to life and 75 years to life.
That seems,
it's a lot of time.
Normal for,
So in 1989, the First District Court of Appeal affirmed their third conviction, as it had previously done in the other 2 convictions. So
murder without any self-defense involved should be at least 50 years.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like, why even fuck with that?
Exactly. So James Carson is right now still in the Mule Creek State Prison.
Okay.
And Susan Carson is at Central California Women's Facility. But this is not where the story ends. Okay. So we'll keep talking about this.
Okay.
They did a 5-hour interview with KGO-TV and the San Francisco Chronicle.
That's a long interview.
Yeah, the Carsons claimed to have been pacifist and vegetarian yoga practitioners.
Okay.
Who converted to a form of Islam and described themselves as vegetarian Muslim warriors.
Warriors?
Yeah.
Okay. But pacifists?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know who they were warring with their pacifism.
I don't know.
So they said their crimes emerged from a shared mission to exterminate individuals they believed to be witches.
Okay.
They dubbed themselves the San Francisco Witch Killers.
You shouldn't get to name yourself.
No, you shouldn't. I don't remember what podcast I was listening to, but they had this exact conversation where they were like, why do we keep naming serial killers cool names?
Oh, yeah.
We should just name them dumb names.
Stupid loser butt-face killers.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like the Golden State Killer, like that's a cool name.
Ugly
right?
and smells bad killers.
Well, all of the women that he sexually assaulted,
who's this now?
The Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
All the women he sexually assaulted after they survived said how horrible a breath that he had.
Yeah.
And so they should be like, stinky breath killer.
Yeah, bad breath bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Something terrible.
Yeah.
We should start giving them stupid names.
Yeah.
They don't deserve cool names.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what cool, awesome title should we name this episode?
Oh my God.
My point being, that's why these guys get cool names.
The fake Charles Manson murders.
That's too cool.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But if we call it like the poopy butt murderers, like nobody's gonna want to listen to that. I see why people give them cool names for marketing purposes.
The veggie Muslim warrior killers? No, that's so cool.
I don't know if we want to do that.
Nah. Yeah, let's don't do that. So, they stated that, this was like a callback from what I was saying when they were like talking about why they killed Karen Barnes. Mm-hmm. So Susan said that they killed Barnes because they believed she had made false conversion to their religion and was draining Susan of her health and yogic powers.
Right. Your soul is mine.
Like, she's draining me of my beauty and my yogic powers.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure, Jan.
Yes. As one does.
Like, come on, that's so freaking weird.
Yes. Those are called children.
Yes.
Hey.
Their justification for the second and third killings were that Stevens and Hellier Stevens, they said, allegedly sexually assaulted Susan, and that Hellier was allegedly called her a witch and sexually abused her.
Oh.
I don't believe either of those.
Okay.
I don't know. I know that, like...
They're saying that the roommate that they murdered was sexually abusing
No,
her?
the roommate was stealing her yoga powers and her beauty. They're talking about the guy that worked on the marijuana farm that they got in a fight with.
The dispute guy. Oh, okay.
And then the guy in the car that they killed.
Yeah. Okay.
They said that. I don't believe that. I really don't. But
I don't either.
because they're fucking crazy. They were trying to say... I don't know. I don't believe them.
I don't know.
So... from their conviction and through their incarceration up to 2017, they've shown no remorse for any of their murders. Okay. They've justified all of it.
Like, we did it. We do it again.
Yeah. So we
were just killing witches, like Van Helsing or whatever. I think he killed witches, right? Van Helsing, or was that werewolves?
I have never seen Van Helsing.
I saw one. Oh, vampires. I think it's vampires.
See vampires?
Yeah. Something evil, right?
I've never seen it. I have no idea.
Wolverine's in it, I think, right? Isn't Hugh Jackman Van Helsing? Is Hugh Jackman? Or is it Vincent Van... the guy who played... God damn it. I can't think of any of these names now. Who played Morgenstein? Viggo Morgenstein, who plays the guy in Lord of the Rings. Viggo Mortensen. Was he Van Helsing, or was it Hugh Jackman?
You are asking a person that has never seen this movie.
Let us know in the comments below. Because we're not going to Google it.
No,
we want you to do all the work.
Please. We're not going to do that work.
All right, sorry.
So you're
We should watch Van Helsing. It was kind of a cool movie.
I'm down.
It's one of those ones where you can like have a drink or two and not really pay attention because it's stupid.
Oh, okay. It's so funny that we're like not remembering names. I just talked to my dad, who listens. Thank you, Dad. And he was saying, the last one I was listening to, you guys were trying to think of like an old TV show, and I had the answer, but now I can't remember it. I'm like, yeah. We kind of do that every episode where we try to remember things and we cannot.
Yep.
Because funny enough, I can remember everything perfectly fine until I get on here and start talking.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, everything wipes out of my brain.
Yes.
Even like these stories, like I'll have researched these like crazy, and then I'll just get lost and be like, wait, where was I? So props to like
people
podcasters.
Who do that. Yeah.
This is all like this is hard.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
You do all the work.
I'm trying to get better at it, but it's freaking hard.
Yeah, I just sit here and say stupid things.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So the Carsons, they claimed when they traveled through Europe and back to the U.S. through the American Southwest and parts of California, they said they kept a list of targeted individuals, including political figures and celebrities. A kill list, which I already told you Reagan and Johnny Carson.
Did they cross it
there.
off like one at a time with lipstick?
I hope so. They, spoiler alert, they did not kill either of those people.
Billy Madison.
Yeah, that was Billy Madison. But Billy Madison calls him, so he doesn't cross him off.
He crosses. Well, he does cross his name off of the kill list.
Oh, you're right. Off
with
of
the
lipstick,
kill list. And then he goes like this all over his face. Steve Buscemi.
And then Steve Buscemi saves the day at the end.
I believe he does. I believe he's
No, he is. He saves the day.
Well, also Chris Farley does too, doesn't he? And no, also it wasn't Chris Farley. Also the wasn't it like the wrestler, like the old like high school principal guy or whatever?
You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But like that guy's holding a gun up to both of them.
Right.
And like threatening to shoot him, and then Steve Buscemi comes and shoots that guy.
Right. It's been so long. I really do. It's such a good movie. I can't wait to watch it again.
It's so good.
We should watch it tonight.
Love Billy Madison.
I love Billy Madison.
Oh, that's so good.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Shampoo goes on first and cleans the hair. Ironing conditioner. I go in last to make the hair smooth.
Silky and smooth. Yes.
I used to have so much of that movie memorized.
It's been a while.
What about you, Sideburns? You want any of this milk? I'd rather have a beer. Oh my goodness. So according to Richard D. Reynolds, who wrote a book about this case, the Carsons were suspects in nearly a dozen other deaths in the U.S. and Europe.
Wow.
That's what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a whole book about this. So if you're really interested in this case, you can do a deep dive in this book.
Do you know the book name?
I don't. I know it's by this Richard D. Reynolds, but it has like a really elaborate name, and I can't remember. I'm not even going to try. So, kind of newer...
Dickie D.
Richard D. Reynolds.
All right.
In March of 2020, the board denied parole for Carson for 10 years.
Good for them.
Yeah. And that's when I was saying that his daughter came and was like, nah, don't let him out. He's crazy. He's a psychopath. Please don't. So he will not...
good job, daughter.
Good job, daughter. He will not automatically be scheduled for a hearing until May 27th, 2030. He can petition the board for an earlier hearing if he can present evidence. So.
Oh, okay. Evidence proving his innocence?
Yeah, if there's like any new evidence in the case that he can prove he's innocent.
Gotcha.
In 2015, Susan was denied parole for 15 years. Her next hearing for parole is in December of 2030 as well. Both of them are 2030. So
big year for them.
Yeah, we'll come back at 2030 and tell you.
Yeah, so they looked it looked like they were like in their 20s or 30s in the late 70s. So that would make them like
Michael
old.
was born in 1950.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they're like 1950.
Uh-huh.
Really? So,
and Suzanne was born in 1941.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
So really?
Yeah.
The big age. That's an unusual age gap.
It is, yeah. She was much older than him.
Right, yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, so that means he's like 70 and she's like 80.
Oh, yeah. They're not
getting out.
They're not
alive.
Getting out. Because that's just their parole.
Right, yeah.
It's going to come up for parole and they're probably going to be denied again.
Right.
Because, like I said, usually for parole stuff, which I've seen in some documentaries I've watched, you really have to be sorry about what you did.
Yeah.
And say, look, I've learned this, this, and this. I'll never do this again.
And be convincing.
These people have no remorse.
Right.
They think what they did was not a big deal. So
yeah.
They ain't never getting out.
Good.
Yeah.
There's a sign of something working correctly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're going to stay in prison forever and die in prison.
Good.
So,
that sounds good.
There we go. I'm glad his daughter grew up and is okay.
Yes.
That could like we said.
Yeah, it could have been not.
Thank God for her mom for taking her away from this whole situation.
And not being a different character in the story and being like, all right, you want to murder? Let's go murder people like those other people.
Exactly.
She's like, nah, I'm going to take my daughter and we're bouncing.
And you're never going to find us. We're going to change our name. We're going to like cut ties with all of our acquaintances.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Because, And like I said, if you want to go read some of those articles, his daughter gives a lot of interviews around that time.
Good for mom and daughter.
Yes.
Bad for Michael Bear and Susan, whatever the hell, Barnes.
Yeah, and I couldn't...
Well, she's Bear too, right? They're both Bears?
Susan Bear Carson, yeah.
Okay.
Her maiden name was Susan Barnes.
Barnes, right.
Yeah, and she had two teenage sons when this started.
Can't keep a bear and a
I don't know what happened to them. They didn't come forward.
Oh, okay.
I didn't read anything about them, so
fair enough.
Hopefully they turned out okay.
I hope so.
In spite of their crazy mom.
It happens.
So, that's it. San Francisco Witch Killer. So, like I said, it wasn't as bad as like some of the ones we've done. It was like a little lighter. There were
they only murdered a few people.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, like a lot that they haven't.
They confessed to killing 3 people.
Right.
They are
suspected of killing a dozen more.
Up to 10 more. Yeah. U.S. and
Europe.
So
international killers.
I'm wondering if some of the ones in the U.S. were in this Humboldt County near Murder Mountain. Because like I said, the cops really kind of stay out of their way there.
Right,
so.
Sure. A lot of bodies to be found.
Yeah.
So they didn't kill that many witches.
Not that many witches. Yeah, I don't know. So I never know how to end these things. I never know how to like wrap these things up.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, this is a short one.
It was a relatively short one. Yeah.
That's fine.
Let's say I think like I got into researching a couple of them and they were just too much. Like, there's some I get into research and I'm like,
it's just too much research?
No, just the
too
crimes
dark?
were too dark.
Yeah.
So I get, like, I feel like, I don't know how many people are listening, but I feel like I need a poll. Do you guys like dark things? Like, is that something
that's a good question.
like?
Like, that's a great question.
Or do you want lighter ones? I don't know. Because sometimes,
do you like watching a squirm? Particularly me, with these horrible stories, because I don't do this murder thing.
Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I should go dark, go really gross and terrible, or do you guys not want to hear that? Do you want to hear kind of like surface level, like a little murder, but not too bad? I don't know.
I feel like most people, they would say to do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, that's true.
Most people do whatever you want. And that's probably what we should do. Let's just do whatever we want.
Yeah, that's true.
It's up to us, not you.
Yeah, we're in control of this one.
It's our show.
But I don't know. Yeah, so next time I'll do like a scam one. I actually have one in mind already, so I'm gonna do a scam one, and then you know what? We might go full throttle that one after the next one and just go real dark.
Oh yeah.
Because I have one that is kind
What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box? So I might, yeah. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. So that was a wrap on the San Francisco witch killers.
Yes.
I like witch hunters better.
You like witch hunters?
Witch hunter sounds cooler than
you
witch
almost said cunt.
Well, I mean, yeah.
All right, guys. So, and let us know if you like the video ones. I don't know. This is a new thing. So, let us know. And whatever you're listening to us on, please subscribe, like, comment. Please tell us what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right. Just give us some feedback.
Subscribe so you can listen to more. And then tell your friends to subscribe so they can listen to more.
And we do have a Twitch channel. I know a lot of you guys that are listening on different podcasting platforms don't know, but we do have a Twitch.
That's what we're doing this on now.
That's what we're doing this on now. So if you would like to come hang out with us live and chat with us and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll do
oh no, our dryer stopped.
Oh no. We're gonna do a whole song.
It's gonna do this whole thing. All right, let's wait. Let's let it finish. Just wait. Just wait. Hold on. It's still going. Still going. It's not over yet. And there we go.
I was gonna tell you that there's a TikTok where people made a whole dance to that. Yes, they made a whole dance to it.
Surprised. It's long enough to do a whole speech.
It's way too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, so join our Twitch stream, our Twitch page, and
subscribe to that.
Subscribe to the YouTube. I'm probably gonna start a Discord.
Like the YouTube. Oh yeah, Discord. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna start a Discord to where maybe I can get. If you guys listen, you can go in there and tell us feedback, what you want, what you don't want.
Tell me I'm good.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm good.
Me. So yeah, you can give us feedback and all that shit. So.
Which I'm always sunny. Remember Dee? You know when Dee, when she's at the being the analyst, the psychoanalyst, the person who plays the one person in Reno 911. They're at the therapist.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And she's just there. She's just doing all these impressions, and she eventually just breaks down and just really comes to what she really wants, and is just validation.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And she just looks at this therapist. And she's like, "Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good."
I forgot about that episode. Oh my god, her impressions.
Yes, greatest show, one of the greatest shows in the world.
If you haven't watched Always Sunny, please go watch it. What are you doing?
Always Sunny. The first episode.
You've got so many seasons to go too. If you want a binge.
Danny DeVito comes in at season 2.
He's great.
Great.
Oh, he makes the show.
Oh yeah.
And oh my god, he's so.
Yeah. So yeah. It's like our show, but also go watch that one because it's great and it'll make you happy. And you'll get some of our references from now on. Because we do make a lot of Always Sunny references. I can't help it. They're just everywhere. It's just a good show. All right. Bye! Bye, guys!